Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Faraz Khan. We are live from my bedroom again. I welcome you. Thank you for joining us. We're doing F.R.E.S.H 21, finance, relationship, education, spirituality, and health. A better you. And it's a personal development 3-week course that we're working on. So we had already had an introduction. Check out the introduction. Make sure you look into that video, about 20 minutes long. And then we talked about finance. And today we're going to get right into relationships. And it's going to get complicated, as you are aware. But we'll do our best to make sure that you have a sound understanding of what is happening. All right. So thank you again and welcome. I'm going to start the slideshow. And if you're joining today, and I know many of you are working, we're going to give you quality and not quantity. Quantity is good too, but quality hopefully is good. So we're only going to go 15 minutes. Again, week 2, working on relationships, inshallah. So what is relationship? There's so many ways we could describe relationship, but it's how we deal with one another, our relationship with our relatives, our friends, our family, our spouse, our children, so many facets of it. But I must warn you ahead, as we were looking at the bridge, sorry, complicated stuff ahead, okay? So finance stuff is not complicated. It's just common sense, a lot of it, right? Education is not that complicated. Spirituality, it could get complicated. And health, you get what you put in. But relationship, God, it gets complicated. So first point that I want to make here, before even I ask a question, know this for sure. Relationships require a little bit of soul searching. And that little bit is in quote, you can put that, okay? It's really about who you are. It's not about the other person. Many people, many people think it's, oh, like so-and-so is like this or so-and-so is like that. No. The question is, when all these different players come into your life, in the play of life, how do you respond to these questions and comments and personalities and fears and strengths and confidence level, moral boost? And so how do you respond to all these, weaknesses or strengths that you may perhaps have? So that's really what relationship is all about. And I'm going to try to cover a few facets of relationship. Obviously, it's not all, but hopefully will come out better. But if you do not put this into practice, and if I don't put this into practice, it's just a big heap of trash. If you don't put it into practice, what we're talking about, these macaroons that are on the side, they'll just be thrown in trash and nobody benefits from it. So question number 1 that I have for you, and write this question down and answer it on your own accord. What relationships are your priority? What is your ideal list, right? And just to give you an example, for some people it might be God first, right? That relationship. Or in the center is God, and then you have your parents, specifically your mother, right? And then maybe perhaps your spouse, maybe perhaps your children, right? What relationship? And a quick way to know if you're really doing a great job or if you're lacking in any relationship, right? A quick way to know it is the reality list would be dependent on the time and money that you're putting. If you're putting time and money for your children, that is a priority list. If you're not, even though if you have an ideal list that says, oh, my children are my priority, but you don't give time to your children, you don't spend money on your children, then it's just a fool's gold type of stuff. So we have to be real about who we are and what relationships we have as our priority. Now I'm going to give you very quickly, you hear about it. Key to any relationship is communication. There are 4 magical words that could transform any relationship. And I've talked about it many times. I want you to know this. I want you to know that this matters. This is like everyday, day-to-day stuff that you must practice, a mantra. It's a thing that you do, who you are. That's what makes you a great person. And the more we practice, the better we are, the better person we become. And again, This is what we're aiming to. We're aiming to become better. It's not my duty to make my spouse, turn into another version of me, or to turn my children into mini me's. Okay, that's not what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to help them be the best they are, and the way to do it is for me to have good character. So the first one is please before any requests. That should be the rule inside the house and outside as well. Number two, 4 magical words to transform any relationship. Sorry. Be the first to apologize, even if it's 0.1% your fault, right? Just do it. That's because you want to be a role model for others. Practicing number 3. This is sometimes very difficult for people to say. It does involve moving your tongue and opening your jaws and a little bit of movement and moving your head as well and a little bit of emotion, right? Guys tend to have a difficult time with this, but I'll share it with you anyways. I love you. Practice this statement at least 5 times a day, okay? With your children, with your parents, with your spouse. Make sure you do that. I didn't include coworkers, okay? So there's a reason why. I'm just joking. Number 4, thank you for every little thing and every big thing. Okay, thank you for every little thing and every big thing. If there's food on the table, thank you. If there is, room that's quiet and you're able to listen to me, you should be thanking somebody for that, quiet space that you have. Anything that comes your way. So bonus, be positive and appreciate every little thing that you can think about your partner, your relatives, your friends, your family. Now here's a true or false, okay? To get to know men and getting to know women. Men tend to demand, and this is just a very general one focused aspect of our relationship with our spouse and our friends. They tend to prioritize respect, right? This is on the priority list. And women tend to prioritize love and support. And the reason why I want you to be aware of, because that would help you build better relationship. Now I'm going to get down to really the meat of things, and people may not like this, but I must share with you as an honest opinion, as a brother, how I feel about these things. So husband, so I interviewed a lot of people for this very special episode and personal development program. 3 most things that are annoying, 3 most annoying things about husbands, right? This is what the wives of the most annoying husbands, they say. So this is a list. If you're listening, pay attention, please. So what are these? Number 1, unorganized, leaves stuff everywhere, and he's never on time. Number 1, just write it down. 2, needs several reminders before things get done. Hence, at those projects that are sitting. House projects, outside projects, car projects, all those projects. Number 3, spends too much time with his buddies, sports, TV, cell phone, or his side of the family. If you want to improve, if you're hearing some of these, the way to improve yourself as a person and your relationship is to really work hard on these. So I always look at this list and I say to myself, how can I do better? And this is the reason why I'm sharing this list with you. And you may be the perfect guy out there and you don't have to worry about anything, which I commend you. And next time I'm going to have an interview with you and I will love to have you there. Okay. So perhaps this is just, me thinking out loud. All right. For wife, right? 3 most annoying things about wives. And if you're not married yet, hang in there. We appreciate, we wish you well and all the happiness in the world. But this is something that I must share. And it could be something about, obviously, siblings, right? It could be something about parents to children or children to parents relationship, or your coworkers. You find these attitudes. And so what we want to do is identify these issues. That's my goal. And then work on them. If we find ourselves struggling with these issues, hopefully we could do better. Okay. So what are some of the 3 most annoying things about wives? from husbands of the most annoying wives, right? They say that she does not appreciate anything. Like, I do so much, and I rarely hear a thank you. Pay attention. Number 2, disrespectful in more than one way. Screams in the house, argues, does not listen, etc., etc. If you're the wife, you're listening. Is that you? If it is, let's fix it. If it's not, keep watching, be on guard. Number 3, and this is really the important one that I want you to be aware of, so especially the older couples, right? I lost my wife when she became the mother of my children, meaning she's no longer fun. She doesn't really hang out. It's not a good company anymore. It's just like we live our lives. We do our, take care of those responsibilities, like taking care of the laundry, taking care of the food, making sure the bills are paid. But we're not finding that, connection that we should have. So you have to work on things. So what can we do? Now, question number 2, write this down. This is another way of identifying issues and problems, because sometimes, to be honest with you, I don't see problems with my own behavior. And how can I do that? I have to practice something. So I think this would help you as well. Question number 2, what do others pay attention to? Your spouse, your parents, your children, your friends say about you. Everyone's perfect until you meet their mother or their wife, and then they could tell you what's happening, really, right? So I want you to list one positive and just one negative. And I want you to, after you put that positive down, what do they say about you? I could tell you about my children, right? They say he's very intelligent or he's very smart. The not so positive, maybe perhaps a negative, is that sometimes he doesn't socialize with people. And part of my struggle as a parent is that I work with my children to to give them opportunities to socialize, to be able to befriend other people, to mingle with people, and not be aloof and sit out there. So you have to work on yourself, be positive, be honest with yourself. Who are you? What are you struggling with? And let's come up with a strategy. Okay? And as we are working on this, I'm going fast, I know, but I must go through this. You could listen to it. You could go back and listen to the other commentary on F.R.E.S.H. Again, we're trying to be better in terms of our finance, relationship, education, spirituality, and health. And today is relationship. Now, golden rule, how to treat people. And this is something I've realized like in my mid-40s, okay? I'm almost 45, and I realize this is what I try to do every single day when I come across people. All right, this is what I understand to be one of the cornerstone of my living and my dealing with people. Treat your coworkers, associates, neighbors, students, teachers, and others who are kind of like on the periphery of your meetings with them as a circle, as your family. So like those coworkers, associates, neighbors, students you come across, treat them like a family. Treat them even closer than they are. Treat your extended family like cousins and uncles and like your best friend, and you'll have better relationship. Treat your near family, right, part of your household, like your team. You're on the same team. You're working together. You're playing together. Treat your friends like you would like to be treated, right? Never ridicule them, never get upset with them, never, in a good way, obviously, right? With balanced approach. But treat your friends like you like to be treated. And first and foremost, which goes back to personal development, how do you treat yourself? Treat yourself like a role model for others to emulate. Always take the high road, okay? And this is what I call the golden rule, how to treat people. And we're going to talk about this. There's a lot of information here, but I'm going to give it to you. Hopefully a nugget or two, even if you could implement, it will make your life and my life better. That's all I could ask for. We'll change the world. We'll make the world a better place, right? How to mend relationships. This is obviously if somebody's not a jerk, right, and recognize what signs and signals and patterns if others are trying to give by becoming angry with you or becoming upset with you or not talking to you or avoiding you when they come to face, right? So you have to mend relationships. And how do you do that? First step, have an honest dialogue with the person without pointing any fingers. And this could work with coworkers too. Sometimes, stuff happens in office, right? We call office politics. Don't stop pointing fingers. Don't get defensive, right? Or judge people, or become judgmental. Be willing to see from others' perspective. Why are they acting the way they're acting? Just see it from their perspective. Don't judge. Don't do anything, right? Just listen. And then the second step is obviously listen to their concerns with sincere appreciation. If somebody's opening up to you, they're trying to, the signal that they're putting out there is like, I want to work with you. If I'm letting you know why I am upset, what really I'm saying is that I don't care about you. That's not the point. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't talk to you, right? I wouldn't want to be around you. If I'm telling you why I'm upset with you, then I'm trying to reestablish that relationship. So work with them. You don't have to agree with all of their concerns and all of their issues that they talk about in stories. Just make sure that you have that intention, that you understand they're coming back to you and saying, yeah, I want to reestablish that relationship, right? And that could be, again, coworkers, that could be your spouse, that could be your child. They're trying to give you some signals, right? Offer, number 3, unconditional love and support, upholding the principles of morality and good character, right? For my children, my policy is unconditional love. Even if you mess up, I love you. I want you to do better. Okay, learn from your mistakes. I love you. I'm going to be here to support you. If you do wrong things, I'm not going to support you in the wrong things, right? But if you come back and if we could have a dialogue, I'm going to show you or talk to you or perhaps convince you or, give you some ideas about how to do the right thing. Okay, it's up to you what you want to do. Once they grow up, it's their responsibility. But I am here as your friend, as your coworker, as your relative, family member, with unconditional love and support. Okay, so you have to let them know that you are on their side, basically. All right, number 4, make the relationship better and stronger. Live and grow together. That could only happen. And number 5, take a break, exchange gifts and vacation and time. That could only happen when you utilize those 2 things, resources that you have, your time, spend time, and your money, spend your wealth on them. Okay. So we're almost out of time, and we're talking about our relationship with our children. And I think I'm going to let you read that on your own. I want to stick to that 15 minutes or so. The only thing I would say about agenda to improve your relationship with your children is that we have to listen to them. It's not children listen first. It's actually adults listen first to your children, right? We have to let go of the grudges, make lots of dua, lead by example, ask questions, but listen. If they're old enough, please don't give them a lecture. You don't like to receive a lecture, they don't like to receive a lecture. Suggest things, ask questions, be on their side. So those are the things. I want you to read that and just make sure that you also recognize there's a warning about relationship. In-laws are the spice of life. God created in-laws for good reason. So with that, I am going to stop here. Thank you so much for listening. We will meet again, and I hope you enjoyed. Make sure if you have any questions, forward them. I am here as your brother, again, Faraz Khan. It's a wonderful opportunity. I thank ISCJ and everybody else who is, putting this all together, especially Brother Arif Patel. Thank you so much. And we will reconnect again with another chapter, education, very important chapter. So stay tuned this Thursday, 12 o'clock. Again, we will meet. So next 2 days, we will be there. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. And thank you so much for listening. Jazakallah khair.